harvest. No, they're busy, Dad. Goldinger Farms on tour in Colby, Kansas. Took out the old Case IH with the J&M ARG wagon. It's pretty dope. Dad and I are checking out the local John Deere dealership out here, which is American Implement. There's some stuff that you don't see in our neck of the woods over in Missouri, like John Deere 8Rs with 1300 front axles. Pretty unique. Air seeders, two-wheel drive combines, a bunch of 8000 series John Deeres that have all probably sat outside for 30 years. Two-wheel drive combines galore. And an end transport drill? That's pretty cool. What do you think, Dad?
Never seen one before.
All of this equipment looks like it's sat outside for 3 years, because it probably has, because they don't get rain, so why put it in the shed? A stack fold planter? Only in western Kansas. And there's a brand new John Deere corn head, the C12R. Oh, these are the sold things. Attention, Cousin Willie, I have found a strip till bar. Strip till is something that we generally don't see a lot of back in Missouri. And these are big strip till bars. Like this one's a 16 row. Both of these are, or all of these in this row, I think are new or close to new. There's like 5 combines with stripper heads. These combines are rolling in wheat here in eastern Colorado. Hey, Colorado, can you drop your gas prices from $3.60 down to $2.60 like it is in Missouri? That would be great. Hey, Mom.
Hi.
Yep, that's a long ways down.
Google or YouTube in-car.
Dope. That's a big track hoe. Nice view. Still perplexed as to how they got a Cat 349 track hoe all the way up here at Pikes Peak. Like at 14,000 something feet above sea level. So we're at the World War II Aviation Museum here in Colorado. First thing I notice is the old Steiger sitting out here with a road building disc on it. Very cool. Can't really get a whole lot closer to it than this, but pretty neat. Nice Model G here at the museum. She's a little leaky. So we're back in Colby, Kansas, and...
Shut up, Chase.
Okay, whatever. Last time we were here in Colby, Kansas, we stopped at the John Deere dealership right here, which is American Implement. We're gonna do something a little bit different today. Something that I usually don't do. We're gonna stop at the Case IH dealership. Yeah, I know it's a shock, but trust me, we're doing it. Thunder. Got more two-wheel drive combines and, ooh, that's an Elmer's auger wagon. That's different. Got a Sunflower chisel plow. Oh, big green ugly. Look what we got up here right by the highway. This is the closest that I've ever been to a stripper head. Got a 16-row corn head here on a Case IH 8120. Two-wheel drive, of course. It's my first day back home. Gained a little friend here on the side of our pickup truck. And the kitty cat's got us to come see what's up, just like the puppy dog. Yeah, look at this. Get a load of this guy. Ooga booga. I do have some slightly bad news. Right before we left to go on our little vacation there, we got a really, really bad windstorm. And some of the wind actually blew over our corn, or blew the tops out of it. And that's going to adversely affect our yield quite a bit. Just right here by the road, you can see where the tops are broke out of the corn, and there's no longer a tassel in the top half of the plant. With this whole storm damage thing, we actually don't have it as bad as some folks do in our area. On a stretch of Highway 36 from the Rocket by Hannibal all the way to Monroe City, there's corn that's just completely wham. The whole field is broke over at about halfway, and it's not going to be very good. There's really not a good way to know for sure the extent that this corn's going to be affected until harvest, and we actually see the difference on the yield monitor versus our corn yield from 2 years ago. It kind of sucks being completely at the mercy of the weather, and no matter what you do, you could go out and do it perfect, and there could be a tornado come in and just lay it all over as a screw you. There actually appears to be some hail damage here as well. And here is the top of the plant that actually broke off entirely. So now this one's not going to yield very well. Neither is this one or any of the other ones that are broken off for that matter. Some of this wind was actually so bad that the side of that building got torn off. Completely gone. I mean, you guys saw that. The whole side of the building was just, woo, gone. And here, our neighbor's place, there's some tin that's been torn off the barns, but they didn't have it as bad as the poor folks down there that had the whole side of their house carried away to who knows where. Look who it is. Have you seen enough really bad looking corn yet? One of my favorite things about precision agriculture is the excellent tools that we have available to use. Thanks to this drone right here, we're going to be able to look out at this corn that's been damaged by the wind and tell if it's safe to put fungicide on it yet or not. We're thinking here that the verdict is it's not as bad as we thought, but it's still not good. The Highway 36 is over there a little ways, and the closer you get to that highway, the worse the damage gets. Like that right there used to be a pretty good sized tree, and now it's laying over. See out there, there's some corn that's not in very good shape anymore. All these trees have been leaned over pretty good. Tops are broke out there. Oh, and it gets even better. We're about to go to see something that actually is really kind of sad, but it happened anyways. This corn right here is really not good. Right, Missouri farmer? Everything over here looks fine till you get to about here. And this barn used to actually be standing up, so that doesn't look quite right. This building here used to be used for hogs and stuff like that. And there was a silo that was right outside the building. And when this nice storm came through, the silo fell down and it messed up a lot of stuff. That's part of the roof that used to be over in here somewhere. And this is what's left of a combine reel, because there used to be a restored combine in here as well. That grain drill right there just barely got saved from being crushed. Here's a tractor that is not in very good shape. Most of this equipment here was actually this family's stuff that they farmed with many years ago. And this is what's happened to it. Absolutely crushed and not in very good shape. And here's the combine that reel went on. Here's what's left of the McCormick, part of the McCormick that was on the reel of the combine. But this is just not good at all. Yeah, this used to be a really nice, sharp-looking combine, and now it's not so much. Take it that it was hooked up to this tractor. As a farm, we're going to do our very best to help this family out, because one of the guys actually works with us, and he's a really good guy, and he deserves our help. When I said that our corn didn't look that bad, I meant in comparison to this kind of damage. Fortunately, the closer you get to Highway 36, the more corn looks like this. Worst part is that this was going to be really, really good corn for everybody, and now it's laying over flat.
Woodland, it looks like to be the worst place by far.
Oh boy, we have geese in the bean field, right by the highway. Dad and I are going to check out Dad's fancy new bin. Well, a bin and a half, I guess. This is a very important construction effort because we have 2 porta potties instead of just 1. We hauled a lot of gravel in here and it appears to have all disappeared somewhere. Hello! Are you going to tell us about your bins?
Sure. 60-foot diameter, 59-foot eave height, 75-foot fill height, rated at 152 level full. So they'll hold 165, probably pretty easy. Pile it up on the top.
What about your leg that's supposed to be here?
We'll be 132 foot tall, 10,000 bushel an hour. We'll have a drag conveyor over here. And we're going to bring somewhere here by the door that we'll be bringing the bins to unload out. Then back into the leg, we'll have an overhead bins to load out with. And we have the side draw as well.
Safety third. And you can see for a very, very long ways. And we're not even at the fill point of the bin. That's an awfully small hole for all the corn that we're gonna put in here. And that spot right there actually used to be a pond about 8 years ago, and then Dad here took a scraper and made it not a pond. You can see out over the corn, you can see the wind blowing over it. Very pretty. Ha! Straight pipe gas truck, lame. You can see Illinois way over there on the horizon. Due to the recent wind, there's been a lot of sticks, branches if you might call them, that have fell from the trees down into the yard. And it's my job as the person who takes care of this yard up here to make sure that they come out of the yard before I mow it again. My little puppy there, she likes to come up and play around up here when I come here too. There's some sticks here, over there, right here. There's some in the front yard. I'm gonna have a pretty nice little pile stacked up somewhere. Probably right there. Today, Dad and I are gonna clean out this planter here. And I'm really kind of learning how to clean out the planter. I really don't know how, but you need to open stuff up and make sure there's no leftover seed and stuff in it. And that's basically cleaning out a planter, I think. Dad's gonna switch the blower on the planter on, and all the seed that's left is gonna blow into the boxes and hopefully blow on out. Well, that wasn't so bad. At least we didn't have any seed to actually clean out the central commodity tanks, so that made everything pretty easy. Dad wants me to fold up this planter here, and I'm not sure what we're doing with it after that. If anyone remembers that little thing I did there in March where I planted beans just for fun, this is what they look like right now, which is actually amazing. They're loaded with pods and Japanese beetles, unfortunately. That's kind of to be expected since they do like to eat stuff, and this is stuff. But soon they're going to be into these beans. So they're about to my knee, and they've got about 8 inches left to canopy. Yeah, there is a lot of Japanese beetle damage out here. Like, yeah. Watch this. No mercy. The beans that I had replanted in terrace channels here by the house are mostly up, except for the really, really, really wet spots that held water recently. You can kind of see where my rows were right here, and then they just kind of disappear once it gets really wet. But a little further up on the terrace, there's plenty of beans. I can safely say that my replanting efforts here around the house were not in vain, because anytime you can take something that's going to be a zero and make it do anything, that is a win. You can't spend this much money on a crop and then just say, we don't want to make it the best that we possibly can. We'll just take what we can get. That's a good way to go broke farming in 2021. But this area right here, there's crawdads out here. It ain't growing anything. And I drug my planter through here once, and it'll be what it'll be. You can kind of see right here, that was my last row, which is actually right here, and they all look pretty healthy. Dad got the planter cleaned out too. I'm sorry, this video's just kind of been all over the place, given we went to Colorado and saw some heavy equipment out there. I'm thinking that this is going to be a good place to stop this one. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you're liking what you're seeing, please subscribe. We are getting closer and closer to 5,000, and if we can do that, say, by the time I go back to school. Oh, that was a massive mosquito. If we can get that by the time I go back to school, that would be awesome. But if we don't, that's okay too. But anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Oh, also, the sunflowers here didn't really fare much better. So, which is unfortunate because we really got a pretty good stand out of our sunflowers this year. And this corn had zero Zipzilch nada for nitrogen, and it was looking phenomenal. But that's just because this family used to feed hogs back here, or cows or whatever, and it was pasture until Rob and I started growing sunflowers and corn back here just for like dove hunting purposes and stuff like that. I myself am not a hunter. I just like shooting guns, if I had any guns. Yeah, that's a yikes.